We are coming to you from Oriole Park at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. Jose Abreu, Todd Frazier, Brett Laurie, and our Sox as they get set to butt heads with Adam Jones and Buck Showalter's tough Baltimore Orioles. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the first of this big four-game set. As you know, this is a 7-game road trip. Sox coming out of Toronto last night where they swept that ball club, and that's tough to do up there, as you well know. But the Sox right now, well, they're the hottest team in the American League.
They're doing everything right. They're hitting the ball, they're catching the ball, they're certainly throwing the ball. The pitching has been magnificent, but in the 6-game winning streak, there are a couple of hitters that stepped up and got the job done. Todd Frazier, one of them. This a home run against Texas. That's a good Texas ball club that got swept in U.S. Cellular Field. And Deoner Navarro, this was his first of 2 home runs this year and a big triple yesterday, so Deoner's getting the job done. Then Austin Jackson. This turned out to be a triple. We saw another one yesterday, and Jackson is swinging the bat very well at the bottom part of the order. So although everybody in the order is doing well, these 3 are doing particularly well. See the 2 home runs and 7 RBIs during the winning streak for Navarro. Todd Frazier hit a home run, driven in 5 during the winning streak, and Austin Jackson 8 for 20, 4 doubles, 3 driven in. So right now the Sox are clicking on all cylinders, and they have the most wins in the American League.
Well, we also have a 10-3 road record, but these guys right here are tough to beat in this ballpark.
They are very difficult. They're 7-1 at home. They're just adequate on the road, but something about Camden Yards brings out the best in them, and they've got some guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Chris Davis hits this ball a mile. All Archer can do is look up. Manny Machado, who's playing a great defense, is also hitting the baseball very well. And then the new addition, Mark Trumbo, who's got big power to right center, takes this one out in left center at Fenway. So you look at the Orioles, and these guys, if you make a mistake, they're going to hurt you. And the threesome of Davis, Trumbo, and Machado, just about as hot as anybody in baseball, especially hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So it's up to Johnny Danks tonight to throw the ball as well as he possibly can. And last time out against the Angels, although control wasn't there, he did give up a 2-run home run to Mike Trout. That was the only blemish on that record in 6 innings, a radical departure from the previous 2 starts. And Johnny needs a gem tonight. And the Sox, winners of 6 in a row, hoping to secure first place, 3.5-game lead over Kansas City.
All right, first of 4 with 2 good ball clubs. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to beautiful Camden Yards, and I would like to tell you it's a beautiful night for baseball, but it's not. It's very chilly. It's very damp. But there will be baseball as the rains have gone away. It rained awfully hard this afternoon, so let's take a look at how Robin is going to line up our Sox for the game tonight. Adam Eaton leading it off with Jimmy Rollins in the 2 spot. Then it's Jose Abreu, Todd Frazier, Melky Cabrera, who's off to a very good start with Brett Lawrie, Avi Garcia, Hector Sanchez getting his first start, Austin Jackson, who's been heating it up lately in the 9 spot playing center field. The defense for Buck Showalter's Orioles. Nolan Reimold in left field. Adam Jones in center and Joey Reichert in right. That's Manny Machado, J.J. Hardy, Jonathan Scope, Chris Davis with Caleb Joseph behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Tyler Wilson. Tyler's got to move the ball around. He's not overpowering, but he's made 4 appearances, 1 start, 1-0, the fine ERA of .277. And as you can see, he's not going to strike out a lot of people. He will pitch to contact, but he also has great control. The umpires for the game tonight: Corey Blazer behind the plate, Sam Holbrook at first, Carlos Torres at second, and the crew chief, Jerry Davis, is at third. So the Orioles, who have dominated at home, they're 7-1 in this ballpark. Back off a road trip. We are fresh from Toronto and a 6-game winning streak on the line. So we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As the first pitch of the ball game, a 26-year-old right-hander out of Lynchburg, Virginia. Tyler, 6'2", 185 pounds. And that has popped up left side. Long way to go, but he's there. Nolan Reimold. So with 1 out, let's check out our picks to click. Command Joe, director and crew, went with Jimmy. Steve's going with Adam Eaton and J.J. Shiro. David Novak and I, we're going to go with Melky Cabrera. Rollins hitting at .242 with a homer and 4 knocked in. Sox come in with a .238 batting average, but it's that old saying, don't tell me what you hit, tell me when you hit it. That .238 has been very productive at the right time. And it's been, for the most part, late in the ball game. When you score late, you usually win your share. Yeah, the 7th inning has been a nice inning for our guys. And it's quickly 2 down. So here's Abreu. These 2 clubs met 6 times last season and split them. Last year, Wilson was up briefly. He was 2-2. His ERA a fine .350. He made 5 starts of his 9 appearances and got the ball over the plate. He was, the last few years, a man judged to have the best control in the entire organization. So odds are he's not going to walk too many. Well, he seems to be a very cerebral young man. He wants to be an orthopedic surgeon. And was the winner of the most outstanding senior student athlete in the NCAA Division I baseball. I'd say that's pretty impressive. Yeah, it is. He's going to throw some sliders. He's going to move the ball in and out, and more importantly, and we've heard a lot of this year, he's going to move it up and down. So changing eye levels has been one of the catchphrases of the last 3 or 4 years. Wilson will do that. Well, it's hit hard. Well, we were talking with Hall of Famer Tim Palmer 8-time 20-game winner, 3-time Cy Young Award winner prior to the game. And I mentioned Jim, the way he pitched, he was a high fastball, big curveball pitcher. The way he pitched, he would probably won more games today than he did when he was playing, only because of the fact when he was pitching, everybody was a good high fastball hitter. Today, they're better low ball hitters.
Well, much better, and the umpires are calling the ball down because without the balloon chest protector, and many of you don't remember that, but the umpire used to stand almost straight up behind the catcher. Now he's in the slot. He's between the catcher and the hitter, and he's down a lot lower.
Machado, that's a fair ball. The high throw, that's going to be a base hit. Machado has yet to commit an error this season. In fact, Machado, Hardy, and Scope, none of them have an error. The only 2 errors on the infield by Chris Davis.
I talked with Buck Showalter before the game, and he was extolling the virtues of Manny Machado. He said that he didn't see a whole lot of Brooks Robinson. He did see him, but he said some of the plays that Machado has made the last few years have been unbelievable.
Well, Brooks Robinson was a teammate of Jim Palmer, and Jim says that Machado is a better third baseman.
Could very well be. He probably was a lot quicker. And Machado swings a big bat. Brooks swung a bat.
Todd can't get it. Goes in at 235, 5 homers, but 13 RBIs, and a lot of them big. Sox 10-3 on the road this year. That's the best road start since 2005.
So the first pitch, a high cutter, that time low. Again, changing eye levels. Up, down, and it'll work in and out. Girls have spent each and every day of this season in or tied for first place.
And I believe that was the first 2-strike base hit given up by Tyler Wilson this year to Abreu, the infield single.
That's true. He had 11 straight innings where he didn't give up a 2-strike hit, which is somewhat amazing.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Stretch! Get on back there. Rimo looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes! Just one-handed it out of here. Had him out in front on that front leg, and it is 2-0 Sox.
6th home run, 15th driven in. And Todd Frazier, who's gotten timely hits, he's gotten big hits. And our forward home run replay, it's a breaking ball that comes up spinning, doesn't have a lot of break on it, but in this ballpark you can't afford any mistakes. The ball just flies out of here, doesn't matter the temperature, and it's gone.
Nice to be that strong.
That's also the first run scored off Tyler Wilson in the first inning. In this, his 7th consecutive start. It's the first time anybody scored off him. Gio Gonzalez has the longest active streak with 24.
Melky. 0-2 the count. Melky's had some big hits for us. Hitting at .312, couple of homers. And there's a little nubber. Got plenty of time. But the 2-run homer by Todd Frazier and his 2-0 good guys.
going to line up his Orioles for the game tonight. Joey Rickard leading off, then Manny Machado, Chris Davis, and it's Trumbo, Jones, who struggled but not against our Sox, Hardy, Raimo, Scope, and Joseph rounded out. The defense, and how they'll line up behind Johnny Danks, who's got a 2-run lead. Cabrera, Jackson, and Eaton in the outfield with Frazier, Rollins, Laurie, and Abreu in the infield. Hector Sanchez behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Johnny Danks.
And here's Rickard. Hit a 3-run homer. Matt Moore last night. Our guys got in from Toronto around 2 o'clock, and Orioles were playing Tampa Bay down in St. Pete. So a tough schedule for both teams coming in after the night game.
So they got in a little later than we did. You got to watch this guy because of his great speed, because he's got 5 infield hits. That leads the major leagues. So you can't play him too deep.
Well, here's a nice example. That 2-run homer. Johnny, last time out, just threw the 2-run homer to Mike Trout. 6 innings, gave up just the two runs. But all of a sudden, all year he's been struggling. Now all of a sudden he's going to go out there with 2 on the board behind him. Makes that play just a little wider for him.
And he's got his work cut out for him, because this team has some bombers.
Yeah, they can hit. This is a very, very strong offensive team. They have 28 home runs. We have 21. Todd's got it. 1 out.
Nice comeback for Johnny Danks as he fell way behind and battled his way back into the count and got the ground ball.
Machado at 325, 6 homers, 11 knocked in. Last year he had 35 home runs.
That last pitch is a pitch that John has got to have. A good piece of the strike zone, and he threw him a good change, evened up the count.
No walks. They can hit his way on, Johnny. Machado 2 for 9 lifetime off Danks. That's one thing that Danks cannot afford to do. Walk.
Not with this lineup, with Davis and Trumbo coming up, and Jones eventually is going to hit home runs. He's only hit 1, but he's been banged up.
You can, when you get a team like this, you cannot walk them and you cannot give them extra outs in an inning.
Now the Sox knew that these 3 series back to back to back were going to be tough. Texas, Toronto, Baltimore all can hit.
In the last 7 games, there was 3 series, tough series on the road.
Yep. So far, John has fallen behind all 3 hitters.
Well, he's got to turn that around, or it's going to be a short night. Davis with a 2-0 count.
Got to get the ball inside on him, throw it under his hands, then he has some problems. If you keep pitching him on the outer third, he's going to wind up hurting you.
So here they come. He's falling behind the hitters. He walks one, then gives the 2-0 base hit.
That pitch was out away from Davis and down, which is his sweet spot. Fortunately, he didn't get it up.
Well, not many guys you can say their wheelhouse is down and away, but it is with Chris Davis.
Hits this ball hard, and Austin put the glove up in case Machado was thinking about going to third, which he was not.
So here's a hot bat in this lineup. 359, 5 homers, 17 driven in. Mark Trumbo. Big, strong, and he can go anywhere deep.
Get as much power to the opposite field as maybe anybody in the league. You might remember him from his days with the Angels. He also spent some time in Arizona, and last year, part of the year, in Seattle.
Now, he was the only Angel rookie to ever lead the club in home runs and RBIs in a season. There's a strike. He has 136 in his career. 36 home runs. Gap out there in left center. Upstairs, chased it, hung on to by Sanchez. He gone. 2 down.
Good change of eye levels as he throws one up and out of the zone, and even though he did get a piece of it, as he looks back, Sanchez was able to hang on, and so 1 out away from getting out of the inning, preserving that lead, but a very tough man who happens not to be hitting, standing in his way.
No, it's hard to hit when you're healthy. Doubly hard to hit when you got bad ribs. Adam at 196 with 1 homer. And he takes ball 1.
Jones acquired very early in his career from Seattle in a huge trade involving Eric Bedard. Very heavy Baltimore on that trade. They got by far the best of it.
Adam last year 27 homers, 82 knocked in, and catches everything out there, center, right center, and left center.
He doesn't walk. Last year he walked just 24 times, so he's a man who dearly loves to swing the bat. Good change up low and away, probably gets him.
Get a hard high, a slow low. That ball hit hard, and he's not going to be able to get out of it. The walk, the 2-0 single in the game. Here's the throw to the plate. Yes, beautiful relay, and they get him at home. Boy, what a beautiful, beautiful relay. But they do come up with 1, and it's a 2-1 Sox lead.
replay, and this is just flat out good defense. The relay throw to Rollins. He gets it to Sanchez, and he puts the tag on. So Davis cannot score. It scored 8-6-2. It took two very good relay throws and a pretty good tag on the other end. So they took another look at it in the dugout. Buck Showalter then motioned to Corey Blazer. Play on.
So Brett Laurie will lead it off. Javi Garcia. And then Hector Sanchez.
John made 6 pitches behind in the count of that first inning. One of the reasons why the Orioles were able to score.
Well, that's not going to work.
He's got to stay on top and then get him out of the strike zone.
Here is Laurie. First pitch strike. Right at 266. To the count. First of 4 if you're just tuning in here in Baltimore. And it's not chilly, it's cold.
It is that. They said 48 at game time. However, because of the dampness, it feels a whole lot cooler than that.
One out.
Last time out, Wilson threw his fastball for strikes 85% of the time, which is somewhat amazing. But because he's not overwhelming his fastball anywhere from 89 to 91, he can't really miss his spot too often. And the reason he's in the major leagues is he doesn't miss his spot that often.
So here's Javi.
He started swinging the bat very well in Toronto. Looked like he was hitting the pitches inside and outside.
Slices that one, Souvenir right side. Orioles averaging 19,973.
I know you hit in the old Memorial Stadium here. That wasn't a great place to hit. How would you have liked to have hit here?
Well, the main reason old Memorial Stadium wasn't a great place to hit is because of the pitching staff.
That and their fielders, yeah.
This is the hitter's paradise right here. I mean, this is just, if you're have any kind of strength at all, you got no problems going out anywhere in this ballpark.
364 to the power alley in left center field. Guys can just flip it out of there.
Well, the biggest thing is the short wall. When you got short walls, home run hitters love it. And there's good at bat. Walk. And here comes Hector Sanchez, making his first plate appearance. Yeah, that old Memorial Stadium, what was it, 309 down the lines?
It was, but it went out rather quickly, and because of the heavy humidity all the time there, the alleys didn't jump. The ball just kind of died in the alleys.
As I said, the biggest reason you didn't get many pitches to hit out. They didn't hang many. They didn't throw a whole lot of fastballs for strikes. One year, 4 20-game winners on this stuff.
It was pretty amazing. That was 71. It was Palmer, Matt Dobson, Mike Cuellar, and Dave McNally. We're most likely never going to see that again. You can't say never, but I would say the odds are awfully slim. There is the big right-hander, Mr. Palmer. You can see what the scouting report had on Sanchez, because each and every pitch in the at-bat was upstairs. They wound up throwing it by him.
So here's Austin Jackson hitting at 239. Bobby with a decent lead. First pitch strike.
Adam Jones was playing around toward left center field, which was kind of unusual because Austin hit the ball awfully hard to right center in the Toronto series. So now you see Adam Jones moving a few steps toward right center.
And that ball hit hard right over his head. He's there, got a good jump ball, sort of knuckled on him, stayed with it, made a nice catch. So a beautiful play by Adam Jones, and that'll retire the side. Of the first round of the NFL draft on Sportsnet Central. Now Chris Bowden hosts a panel of NFL experts as they break down every pick and look at who the Bears may select in rounds 2 through 7. So Sportsnet Central presented by Miller Lite tonight at 10:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Chicago.
Let's see if Johnny Danks can start getting ahead of some hitters. It was a tough first inning for him. He was able to get out with only 1 run and keeping the lead on a spectacular 2 relay play.
Yeah, it didn't get much prettier than that one. Hardy at 254, a couple homers. He's driven in 8. And the count 2-0 once again. There's a strike, and when you're behind everybody, you're not going to get anything. Count 3-0. There's one. A rocket. What else? Fortunately, right at somebody.
White Sox group outing is a perfect way to entertain clients, promote teamwork, or boost morale. Your group will enjoy special group benefits when you reserve 20 or more seats. The larger your group, the larger your discount. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/group.
Big, strong Nolan Reimold hitting at .292 with a couple of homers. And those accounted for his only 2 RBIs. He has hit Danks hard, 8 for 19 with a homer.
Reimold against our White Sox dove into the stands and actually broke a bone in his neck. But he's really been a survivor in this game. I remember seeing him 3 straight years in the Arizona Fall League. He could never quite get over the hump. Then had many injuries to overcome, but here he is knocking at the door of 300 this year.
Well, he's not unlike a real strong pitcher who's got a real good fastball but having trouble throwing strikes. Teams just don't give up on him that easy.
No, you get a lot of different chances, and he stayed here with the Orioles, and they keep giving him shots. Now he's got a golden opportunity.
He gone. 2 down.
They had a good at bat. He got ahead of Reimold so he could change the eye level, throw a fastball by him upstairs. That was a good sequence for John. And Hector Sanchez wants it upstairs. He gets it upstairs and throws it by him. That's strikeout number 2.
So here's Scope. Jonathan. Last year, 279, 15 homers, 39 driven in. Takes ball 1.
This is an awfully strong young man who started out like a house of fire this year. Suddenly now falling on hard times, but he's still got a chance to be pretty good.
Just 24 years old.
Look, Showalter said he's got one of the strongest arms on the infield, despite the fact he's playing second base. He's played short, he's played third. And he doesn't have great range, but the strong arm makes up for it.
High pop up, playable. Jose is going to come in and take all the heat off Hector. Makes the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning for Danks, and he leads it 2-1. Insider Dan Hayes all season long on CSNChicago.com, presented by The Great Escape. Pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape. Top of the order. Top of the third.
I don't think Adam Eaton could believe that that one was in the zone. Looked like a breaking ball that stayed up high. He looked back at Corey Blazer. I think Corey probably realizes that wasn't there.
Softly hit. Scope on the move very quickly. And he gets it.
Sox fans, join us on Saturday, May 21st at 1:10 as our Sox face the Royals. All fans ages 21 and over will receive a 25th ballpark anniversary canvas presented by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner and official beer of the Chicago White Sox. Purchase your tickets today at whitesox.com or call 866-SOX-GAME.
Jimmy Rollins takes ball one. Jimmy grounded out to Scope at second. Got some finals in the big leagues. Detroit beat Oakland 7-3 at Comerica Park. Philadelphia shuts out Washington 3-0.
Philadelphia is playing a whole lot better than most people thought they could play. They're 12-10.
And Jake Arrieta picked up his 5th victory, beating Milwaukee 7-2. You know, I think it's more than a shame. It's almost a travesty. People in the media or wherever, just because the guy's had a good year, having another good year, all of a sudden bring up, well, he's probably using PEDs. That really irks me. That is a disgrace to the game. When you get a guy who can pitch like he can and has paid his dues, it's a disgrace to the game. There's his right.
I gotta believe that Jake Arrieta, who was incensed by all the allegations about it, might seek some kind of recourse.
I hope he does, and I hope he wins. Hope he gets it.
I think as media people, you have a certain amount of, well, let's say you have to be held accountable for your statements.
Out and around it. 2 down.
And Arrieta, the big news out of that game was not that Arrieta went to 5-0 because he's been unbeatable for quite some time. The fact that his scoreless streak at Wrigley Field finally came to an end. 52 2/3. Milwaukee scored against him, which is something that nobody's done at that ballpark in quite some time.
Stuff he's got, the last thing he needs is any help.
No, I mean he works out an unbelievable amount. He is tenacious in his workouts, changed his routine completely and made himself a much better pitcher along with Chris Bosio, who certainly, I mean, their pitching coach deserves a whole lot of credit in that regard.
Well, we've got 2 of the greatest pitching coaches in the game in our city, Coop and Bosio. In fact, Coop, in my opinion, as I said it last week, in my opinion, for the last 12-13 years, he's been the MVP of this organization.
Well, second in quality starts over the last 10+ years. That really says a whole lot about Don Cooper.
That's out of play right side.
And you can't believe it's a mistake when a lot of these guys who are highly rated, highly drafted, fall on hard times or don't reach their potential someplace else, only to come to the White Sox and suddenly become pretty good pitchers, i.e. Matt Latos.
2 out in the 0-2 pitch. Just got a little emergency swing, foul tip. Another 5-0 guy right there.
Along with Alex Avila, who is currently on the disabled list. Chris Sale's been magnificent. I love the last time out because I know we've remarked about it, you and I, many times, what Scherzer and Verlander did for Detroit. They got the big fastball, but you don't see it early until they get in trouble. That's what Chris Sale's been doing lately, and he's been getting deep into each and every game.
Another foul.
Chris was getting guys out at 89, 90 miles an hour on his fastball, which for him is really laying off some of it. And he had a whole lot of hitters out in front of it. So as he gets deeper in the ball game, now he has 96 in his back pocket if he needs it.
Well, 3 years ago he beat the Texas Rangers down in Texas. Never hit 90.
No, that was a remarkable performance. That really showed that he was really learning a whole lot about how to pitch, and you factor that in with great stuff, and you got yourself a wonderful pitcher.
Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Only a matter of time until Jose starts hitting the ball out of the ballpark with consistency. And when he starts to hit it out, this lineup is really going to come alive. It's a slider away, I believe.
One, 2, 3 inning. He's retired 5 in a row, and we still lead at 2-1. You're watching on Mediacom in Iowa City, Iowa. Iowa City, yes. The catcher, Caleb Joseph. Two 2-0 for us, 1 2-0 for them. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cold night here in Baltimore.
Buck Showalter said that he's been alternating Joseph and Wieters every other day, but in this series he's going to start Wieters a couple games in a row and get him used to a little more regular action. Coming back from some physical problems, some surgery, but he's their #1 guy, and if they're going to work, Wieters has got to be in the lineup both ways, both defensively and offensively.
And Johnny behind 3-0. Sure don't want to walk the 9th place hitter.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
So here's Rickard, grounded out to Todd Frazier. Starts him off with a changeup. He's just having all kinds of problems with that fastball. Break. Slips right there by. All right, but they're not going to get Rickard on that play anyway. Having to go to his left.
No, in this throw to Rollins wide of the bag. So Jimmy has to do a 360 spin, and Rickard way too fast to think about too.
Yeah. So here's Machado. He walked and scored in the first inning. Starts him off with a changeup. Rickard decent lead. Has close pitch. He's not going to get any close ones, being all over the place tonight.
Now, once an umpire has to look up and down, in and out, and can't really center on one spot, it's going to be very difficult to expect to get a close pitch.
That's trouble. This game is tied at 2. So the leadoff walk, and then the forced play, and both runs resulting by walks.
RBI number 12 for Manny Machado. Rickard scores easily. That was an 0 for 17 by the boards with that double to right field for Machado, who has been slumping, but not this time. Bobby Dickerson waving on Rickard, who scores rather easily.
Here's Chris Davis. He singles sharply and hits this one high and deep. And it's 4-2 Baltimore. Thanks. Getting lit up.
Home run number 7. Davis now has 15 driven in. That ball was thigh high on the inner portion. Ford home run replay, and that's for Chris Davis. That's a sweet spot.
Mark Trumbo struck out his first trip. He did go, says Sam Holbrook.
Not much control at this point, as you see, for Johnny Danks, who has 46 pitches and half of them out of the strike zone.
And the count 3-1 for Trump. And that ball crushed. And it's 5-2.
Mike Socha, his former manager, said of Mr. Trumbo that if you're looking for on-base percentage, you're probably not going to get it. If you're looking for a guy who will drive in runs and hit the ball out of the ballpark, Mark Trumbo is your guy. 6th home run. He's driven in 18. Our 4th home run replay, and on a 3-1 pitch, that fastball right down the middle is absolutely tattooed.
Well, there are a few guys who can pitch 2-0-3-1, get away with it, and Johnny's not one of those guys. Here's Adam Jones. Adam doubled in a run in the 1st inning.
Sox will be without David Robertson for at least 3 days. He is on bereavement leave. Carlos Sanchez was called back. I'm talking with David, sending my condolences. He said he would be back as soon as he is able to, so it probably will be Sunday. And in his place, most likely, Nate Jones would be called on to close. So says Don Cooper.
Two and one.
Johnny's going to make his 14th pitch behind in the count. This Oriole team is just too powerful to consistently get behind them.
That ball hit hard. 2 down. This inning all started with the leadoff walk.
Robin has seen his team come back a number of times in this young season, and certainly a long way to go with a 3-run Oriole lead.
Yeah, this is a different White Sox team. Now the attitude is entirely different than it's been for the last few years. And there's a base hit. So Hardy, who hit a rocket right to Jimmy Rollins' first at bat, hits that one hard into right field.
Sanchez out to talk with Johnny Danks. This is one of those situations where you're not going to have any off days until the 2nd of May, which is right around the corner, but that's going to be 19 straight games. The last thing you want to do is get into that bullpen a lot earlier than you normally would, because you lost one pitcher, replaced him with a position player and a move off the bench. That leaves you one short in the pen.
Well, you've got a situation that this game certainly is not even close to being over with the attitude that they have, disposition and personality they have. But on the other side of that page, for what you just alluded to, bullpen. There are times, especially when you've been winning and you're playing good ball clubs and you're still winning on a 6-game winning streak, you're 10-3 on the road, that you might just go ahead and let that starter get some innings in. Eat some innings.
Yeah. Sometimes you certainly have to do that. Well, the first game in Toronto, Robin had to use 4 guys out of the bullpen: Putnam, Jennings, Albers, and Robertson. And then Chris Sale did what Chris Sale does, gave him 8 innings, and only Putnam came out of the pen. Last night it was 3 out of the pen: Duke, Jones, and Robbie. So the bullpen fairly fresh at this point. Just don't want to have to extend them to 15 or 12 outs.
Change up way out in front. Primal struck out at swinging at a high fastball. And that ball into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Well, here in the third, they're just filling this ballpark up with line drives and bombs, and here comes Cooper.
Well, take a look where this one is. It's right down the middle, and Raimo catches it off the end of the bat. Melky, fortunate, able to knock it down. Signs maybe Hardy would take some liberties at second and goes behind him, but he gets back. So Don Cooper going out to try to settle things down. John has now made 17 pitches behind this Oriole team, and they're every bit offensively the equal of Toronto.
Here's Jonathan Scope. Breaking ball. Scope popped up to Abreu to end last inning.
Toronto has hit 23 home runs. This Oriole team has now hit 30 of them. And it looks like with 73% humidity, maybe a little fog is starting to roll in at the ballpark. Could be a pitcher's best friend along with a little rain.
Out and around that. 2 on 2 out, 1 and 2 to count. With 4 big runs across the plate here in the third inning.
Scope played only 86 games for the Orioles last year, but he hit .279. It was an injury-filled year for him. Nice stop. Hector Sanchez, as he kept his head down.
52-footer.
Tough ball to handle, but he was able to handle it. The key is look straight down at it so that it doesn't catch you up under the chin. Make sure that your mask is as close to tucked as it can possibly be. Catcher gets hit in the throat. It's one of his most vulnerable spots.
Big crooked number goes up on that board, and we'll go to the 4th inning, trailing 5-2.
The first inning put the Sox on top, and with the first White Sox run, eClick Lending will donate $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families.
Here's Todd. All right, boys, let's peck away. They get the shift on for him. Makes the bunt, takes the ball. That evens the count.
Between innings, the groundskeeper came out, had a talk with the crew chief, Jerry Davis, about just exactly how much weather is coming in. Weather forecast for the entire series not great, and because we're only here one time, you got to get each and every one of these 4 in.
And ball inside, tech swing called. 1-2.
That kind of night. Very damp, very misty, very cold.
Well, there's the front moving in. There's no question. I'm looking at it on there. And that's going to go foul on my radar.
Doesn't look great.
Sunday's supposed to be the worst day. Said severe thunderstorms on Sunday. Thunderstorms on Saturday. Severe thunderstorms on Sunday.
Colorado Rockies postponed today, and it looked to me when I looked at the radar like they were getting feet of snow all the way around that area.
Count evens at 2. 2 runs on 2 hits for us. 5 runs, 7 hits for them. Just got a piece of it.
Tried to get him out inside off the plate.
That home run he hit was a curveball that he took something off of and had him way out in front. He just one-handed it out of here. High pop up. Hardy makes the catch for out number 1.
White Sox fans, vote now for your favorite moment and milestone from the first 25 years of U.S. Cellular Field. Head-to-head matchups run through May 19th, and the defining moment will be revealed during homecoming weekend, presented by the Village of Bedford Park, May 20th through the 22nd. Visit whitesox.com USCF25 to vote today.
Here's Melky. Takes curveball strike. Chopper to Hopper.
We get home off this road trip. T-shirt Thursday is going to feature the Milkman, Melky Cabrera, on a T-shirt. Thursday against the Red Sox. That game at 7:10. And you get a spiffy Melky T-shirt to go with it. It'll be the Red Sox for 3, and then the Minnesota coming in for 3 before it's out on the road again against Texas and the Yankees.
Here's Laurie. Takes first pitch strike.
Wilson is not wearing long sleeves. There's a lot of pitchers that feel much more comfortable with short sleeves regardless of what the temperature is, and they feel they can stay warm enough because they're working pretty hard.
I like tonight, guys used to load up on capsule.
Yeah, that was as hot an analgesic as you'll ever find.
Two and two the count. And it's full.
Javi in the on deck circle. If Brett Lawrie can keep it alive, he's going to lay off high fastballs from Wilson. That's how he got him leading off the second inning.
There's a shot base hit down into the corner, so he'll make the turn, mosey on into second base, taking up his 7th two-bagger. Just peck away, just peck away. Come on, Javi, pick him up.
Gets that 3-2 fastball, and it was down in the happy zone for Brett Lawrie. That was on the inner third, waist high, drilled it into left field. So a chance to cut the lead.
Breaking ball. Right at second, 2 down. Good check. Just off the corner. Good take.
Now Wilson's got to make a pitch from behind.
Well, that's the reason that 1-1 pitch is so big, especially for young hitters when they learn how to take that rather than chase the pitcher's pitch.
That one was just off the corner. That was pretty close.
Hardy's good. And that'll retire the side. We have completed 3.5 and we trail it by 3. their sports trivia knowledge and try to win cold hard cash. Beer Money, Sunday night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Well, Joseph led off the last inning and turned out to be a pretty big walk. Because you take a guy who hasn't hit a homer, hasn't driven in a run, and you put him on base on 4 straight bad ones. And then it keyed what turned out to be a 4-run inning. Caleb's a pretty good defensive catcher.
Jacks it up and takes a strike. Change up.
Last year, because of the injury to Wieters, Caleb played 100 games, hit 11 home runs, but hit just 234.
He drove in 49, which in 100 games is not real bad for a backup catcher.
No, actually, he's very valuable in that role.
Ball smashed, backhanded, a long peg. Nice play.
Todd Frazier to the backhand. Pretty good down there, and then he knows he's got all kinds of time. The defense stays very good.
Here's Rickard. He hit it into a 4-6 fielder's choice, but then came around to score on the double by Machado.
Tampa just had a lot of extra outfielders, and it was a numbers game for Rickard. They told him pretty much that, look, we're going to have to drop you from the 40-man roster, and the implications are someone can draft you if you stay in the major leagues. And the Orioles thought he was good enough to take a shot.
Won a game for him last night.
One of the things that he's really got to learn how to do is bunt.
That's softly hit. Austin coming on, can't get there. A little Kansas City special.
White Sox fans, celebrate your Italian roots with Italian Heritage Night presented by Beggar's Pizza. When the Sox take on the Twins on Friday, May 6th, it's Italian Heritage Night, and it's going to feature specially priced tickets and a post-game fireworks show. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/Italy. Bobby Bertucci is certainly going to like that night.
The Bertucci boys. Machado a walk, a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored.
There's Jake. He's getting loosened up in the pen as John about to deliver pitch number 77. Double play would look pretty nice right about here.
That ball hit hard in the right field. Adam got a good jump, put his head down, went to it. Now he's got a chance to double him up. Throw. Yes. Beautiful play, a beautiful tracking of that ball by Adam Eaton, and then gets it into Abreu, and that'll retire the side.
Only this is of the unconventional variety. He crushed that ball. The wind batted it down, and Adam Eaton, realizing that he's got a shot, gets it to Abreu, who puts the tag on, and it's out of the inning. And Rickert taking a look. Then he trips. Even with all his speed, he can't get back in time. Adam Eaton with the assist on a very good play.
That ball hit hard into center field. Adam Jones goes back and hauls it in. So Hector Sanchez put a charge into it. It's a little surprising Adam playing that deep for Sanchez.
You got two guys who can go get him pretty well.
Oh boy,
in their respective center fields.
You know what I love? First thing in baseball, you got to catch the ball. I love to watch good defense. That's a beautiful part of the game. And Austin Jackson, Adam Jones, two of the best out there with that leather. Austin 0 for 1. He crushed one to Adam Jones, his first at bat.
Pretty good changeup. It's hard to read because he does throw it from the same release point that he uses on his fastball. And after that walk to Garcia in the second inning, he's gotten everything in the zone.
Two and two the count. Start us off right here, Austin. A lot of outs, if in fact that rain holds off. Good check. Full count. Good rip at a high heater.
Ninth pitcher the at bat in a good battle between Wilson and Jackson.
A bit of a get me over breaking ball right there and just got a piece of it.
So the at bat will go to the 10th pitch. Pitch number 77 on the way.
Got in on him. That is two down.
Check in during your visit to U.S. Cellular Field using MLB.com Ballpark. The official U.S. Cellular Field app for your iPhone and Android smartphone perfectly complements your trip to the ballpark with maps, concession guides, check-in prizes, and more. Download MLB.com ballpark today or visit WhiteSox.com/ballpark app.
That bat was so long, some of the Orioles players thought it was 3 outs.
Good battle won by Wilson.
So here's Adam. Adam has popped to left, and Scope made a good play to get him at first base on a soft roll. Kid looks like a nice pitcher. He does. Moves it in and out, up and down.
He's got a very good idea about what to do with the stuff, which isn't overwhelming.
No.
But if you can keep it on the corners, which is what he's doing, change speeds, in good shape.
His fastball is good enough to do that.
Yep.
It's just good enough to hit his spots if he can and get you out.
Not a whole lot of help for the opposition when the Orioles go to the bullpen. Their relievers rank second in the majors with a 1.80 ERA.
White Sox bullpen leads the major leagues with a 1.32 ERA. In the last 9 games.
It's been magnificent.
How's that back? Well, we have Chicago probably is one of certainly, if not the greatest golfing city in the world. A lot of golfers out there. And what that pitching does is like putting. It's like making everything you draw it back on that putt. And that's what pitching does for a baseball team. That's out of play. And then you throw in catching the ball, which is the biggest enhancement for the pitching. You can't have that kind of numbers unless you're catching the ball. You can't be giving these guys 30 outs, 31 outs in a game, which we have done on a regular basis for the last 3-4 years.
Wilson had no idea that Joseph was coming out to have a word with him, so he looked startled. And he turned around, and there was his catcher staring him in the face. So 2 long at bats in a row. This one, the 8th pitch, forthcoming, as Wilson's kept everything up to Adam tonight. Except that one.
You played a lot of golf and you're a good putter, and you know yourself when you go to the golf course and you know you're going to make everything, it's a pretty good feeling. Same way when you come to the ballpark, you know that pitcher is going to probably keep you in the game. That's a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, and the great feeling for the pitcher, knowing that if you let him hit it, which you have to, somebody's going to catch it. Doesn't matter if it's in the infield or outfield, but somebody's going to be there.
That was a beautiful jump and route that Adam took on that line drive. Machado. That's popped up. Machado not going to be able to make a play on that one.
That wind blowing straight in from right field pushed that ball out of play. That wind blowing in from right field actually knocked down that drive of Machado's because he crushed it. I think he was surprised it stayed in the ballpark.
Well, the thing that I loved about it was Adam put his head down and went right to where he thought that ball. He looked up and there it was.
And then he looked up and saw where Rickard was.
Watch out. Adam wins that.
At that time it looked like he was pretty much taking one for the club because although it was inside, it looked like he kind of leaned into it. Take a look again. It's a cutter, and he did.
He did.
It looks like he was. It looks like he's trying to get out of the way. What he does is actually get closer to the ball and keeps the inning alive, and perhaps something can come of it. Is Adam pretty happy with that? Helps his on base percentage. Dave Wallace, fine pitching coach. He's been around and he's done a lot of different things in baseball, from the front office to pitching guru for the entire organization. But he's been a lot of different places. Boston, he's been with the Dodgers, now he's with Baltimore, and they love him here. He's a really
he's just doing a reset
guy
right there after those 2 long at bats, giving him a little breather, giving him something positive to think about.
Richie Van Sales, the longtime trainer of the Orioles with Buck Showalter. Buck is a pretty good skipper. 7th season with the Orioles. 3-time manager of the year, 94, 2004, 2014. So I guess 2024 he'll win it again.
Buck's one of those guys, there's no in between with him. You either really like him or you don't.
That's true.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's the way it is.
But he's been a good one for a long time.
I happen to be on. I really like him. He and Ozzie didn't get along too well, but I like Buck because when he's everywhere he's been, he's brought the club up.
He has that. Yankees, Diamondbacks, Rangers, and now the Orioles.
There's a strike to Rollins. You're either those type guys that you either really like them or you don't. They're pretty good.
He's 3rd all time with Baltimore.
Well, Billy Martin was the same. They either loved him or they hated him. And all the thing Billy did was bring clubs up.
Billy was great for a quick fix. He would get to your organization, and within the first couple of years, you would have yourself a terrific baseball team.
Well, Art Fowler, Billy had those guys throwing spitters, and they go complete games for a year or 2, and
then their arms would fall off. Yeah.
That's right. Couldn't brush your teeth anymore. Had dental problems. Oh, look at this. How sweet is that? The inning is staying alive and bringing Abreu to the plate, who happens to be the tying run.
Jimmy Rollins, who doesn't go the opposite way too often, takes this ball into left center. And here comes Buck Showalter. All he wants to do is get Wilson at this point out of the ball game.
Well, the 2 at-bats by Jackson and then Eaton sort of did Wilson in.
So as Wilson walks off, we'll step out and be back after these messages. Is Michael Givens. He used to be a shortstop. The Orioles converted him to a reliever. He throws awfully hard. In 11 games, 1-0, ERA .270. Is a most unusual setup, but he's got a very strong arm. And last year, he came up and opened a few eyes around the major leagues. He was 2-0, his ERA 180 in 22 appearances, and that's one of the reasons why he cemented his spot in the bullpen this spring.
So here's Abreu. Had an infield single. A strikeout. And he has scored a run. Two on, two out. We trail at 5-2 here in the top of the fifth if you're just joining us.
This is not the best throwing Oriole outfield.
Don't help him out.
Well, that one well wide of the plate, and Joseph did a great job going to his right, making sure that one didn't go to the bricks.
Oh boy. 3-0. There they go. Great count to run on when you got a youngster coming in out of that pen, having trouble throwing strikes, and they steal it standing up.
He paid absolutely no attention at all, and you can see it right there. Well, base hit now gets things very interesting.
Close pitch, and he gets it.
That's the first sweeping breaking ball that he's seen, but that is the breaking ball that Gibbons has.
Come on, Jose.
Well, you can't guess 3-2, but with first base open, you might be looking for another one of those. And Gibbons wants to make sure that he and Joseph are on the same page.
Well, that's a good call either from the bench or from Joseph to go out there with a hitter to get him letting his wheels get turning a little bit.
Yeah.
Earl Weaver was a master at that, as was Billy Martin. And you pitched for Earl.
Yeah, it wasn't too pleasant, but things got a whole lot better. There you see the retired number 4. That's for Earl Weaver, who, by the way, won 1,480 games for the Orioles.
That's ball 4, and that'll load him up for Frazier. Yeah, hitters don't like that at all. When you get 3-2, first base open, and you're a big, strong hitter, or either the catcher or the pitching coach or the manager run out to the mound.
Well, every one of those pitches except for the 4th pitch in the sequence was outside. Some of them touched the corner, most of them out of the zone.
Right here when Todd, I don't know if he's seen this guy, but he's got to be looking first of all fastball if he gets it. Takes that one inside.
I would doubt if he saw him at all, except for maybe. No, not even in spring training. He probably has never seen him.
Well, you know, he's throwing 90-92 on the gun up there, but it looks quicker than that.
It does.
That's all right. You give him out.
Tying runs on base.
That slider.
Career with the bases loaded, a couple of home runs and a .242 batting average for Todd Frazier, who's responsible for the 2 runs. After you've seen that sweeping slider, then that fastball looks a lot quicker than 91 as he sailed this one up and in and threw it by Todd.
get out of it, but I'll tell you one thing, that's a different looking White Sox club. All right, Art Chuck, thank you very much, buddy. He had Sox packed right there, couldn't do anything with it. But we are still in this ball game the way this club is. 5-2, Orioles lead it, bottom of the 5th inning. Gus Davis has singled sharply into center and then hit a long 2-run home run. That's high, popped up to right field.
The Xfinity Fundamentals deck high above left field at U.S. Cellular Field is accessible from the 100, 300, and 500 levels. In baseball, and the White Sox Training Academy coaches in batting and pitching cages, base running areas, and check out the latest Xfinity technology, including the X1 platform. X1 by Xfinity, it'll change the way you experience TV.
Here's Trumbo. He's 1 for 2. An even longer home run than Davis hit. Went back-to-back in the 3rd.
Wilson went 4 2/3, cannot qualify for the win. Gave up a couple of runs on 4 hits with a walk, a man hit, 3 strikeouts.
One and one to count. While we have a moment, I want to sound a very happy birthday to our 3-year-old grandson, Hank. 3 years old today, Hankus. We love you, buddy. That's a hanger, hit hard but foul.
Pretty hard to believe that Hank is 3 already. It seems like just yesterday that Hank was born.
He is something special. He loves to be loved. Let's put it that way. That's how to play right side. Five, 8-0 for them. We scored 2 in the first. If you're just tuning in, a 2-run homer by Todd Frazier. Chopper 2 hopper. 2 down.
Center fielder, number
So here's Adam Jones, an RBI double. And then he lined out very hard to his counterpart, Austin Jackson. We scored the 2 in the first. They scored 1 in the bottom of the first, and then they added 4 in the third.
It very well be that John is in as long as he gets the third out. And if not, that might be it as the bullpen continues to work. Trichka was up and throwing before.
Well, it's not talked about very often, but managers do, because of the situation and the way the games are played today with the bullpen and the use of it. Have to eat a game. This is not one of those games. Not with our ball club.
No, not as close as things are now.
No, our club is capable as there is a strike. In fact, scoring late, they scored 42 of the 82 runs this season from the 7th inning back. 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. That's over 50%. That's the highest total by far in the American League. So when you got a ball club like that, you don't eat a game quickly.
Now, when things got tense enough for Buck Showalter to deny Wilson his chance to get a win by taking him out of the game, maybe a few years from now, when Wilson is more of a veteran pitcher, he'll allow him to get that third out in the 5th.
Yeah, it was those 2 at bats, though, one by Austin and then Adam Eaton.
J.J. Hardy. Jones can keep it alive.
He gone. And that'll do it. Winner of the 6th. We need 3 to tie. White Sox schedule is brought to you by Travel Wisconsin. Plan your fun today at travelwisconsin.com. There you see. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Red Sox, and then the Twins. Here's Melky Cabrera to lead it off. We trail it 5-2. First pitch. There's that sweeper.
Left-handers should get a much better look at Gibbons because he is a side wheeler and they see it all the way.
Yeah, and it's got a big flat tilt. Doesn't have a lot of depth to it.
But so far 2 pitches and no swings from Melky, and both have been in the zone.
That slider is much more conducive to the, because that's knocked down, picked up, and gets thrown out to a right-hander than it is a left-hander. 1 out.
Well, Gibbons used to be a shortstop, so not much difficulty with that one.
Here's Brett. He's 1 for 2, a double. That's his 7th 2-bagger coming back in the 4th inning. A shot down into the left field corner.
Another slider. Let's see if Brett can stay with it. Fortunately laid off as that ball was just off the plate.
That's off the end of the bat. Two down.
Join White Sox Charities for the annual garage sale on May 14th at U.S. Cellular Field. You can take home a piece of White Sox history, including game-used equipment, jerseys, hats, and much more. Entrance to the garage sale is free. For more information, visit WhiteSoxCharities.org. Some Sox fans, they could benefit from the garage sale.
Here's Ivy, a walk and a ground out to short. And that's going to be a base hit.
Fifth hit of the game, and Scope had a shot. It hit the heel of the glove and just trickled away as Ivy hit the ball pretty hard. He told you that Scope has a very good arm, but not the greatest range around. And the inning stays alive.
Here's Hector. Sanchez 0 for 2, 1 out deep to center field last time up.
Last year, these Orioles had 48 assists from the outfield. That led the major leagues.
And there is a nice base hit.
Give you an idea about the character of this ball club and the never say die attitude that has permeated the team through the early going. Last inning, 2 out, nobody on, hit batsman single, walk, and a chance to get a little closer. This inning, 2 outs, nobody on, the base hit by Garcia, the base hit by Sanchez, leaving it up to Jackson. So a little more pressure on the home team in this case.
Well, when you put the ball in play, you got a chance. If you don't believe it, just watch Kansas City. Austin has lined very hard. Adam Jones the center, and he's grounded out to short. There's that slider for a strike.
Sox came into play tonight. 3.5 games ahead of Kansas City, 4.5 ahead of Cleveland, and looking for their 7th win in a row. Ryan Mattis throwing in the bullpen. The left-hander, former #1 draft pick, converted from a starter to a pensman. And you would think that Mattis is getting ready for Adam Eaton, who's in the on-deck circle, if Austin could keep it alive.
Two on, two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Out in front of that one.
Able to stay alive as Givens put a little more on that slider. He'd been throwing his slider 83, 84. That time he tried to throw it as hard as he probably could and got it up to 86 as Adam Eaton gets ready in case this inning is still alive and rolls around to him.
Checks it up, fouls it off.
Johnny Danks, not the best of nights, but 2 scoreless innings after the big 4 spot in the 3rd.
Finally gets him. Strand 2 more. We have left 7. And we trail it by 3. In Baltimore continues as Carlos Rodon takes the mound for our Sox in Game 2. So join us for the first pitch at 6 tomorrow on CSN Chicago. Johnny Danks still on the bump. Only gave up 1 in the first, 4 in the 3rd. Did not have anywhere near a semblance of control. Got hit hard in that 3rd. Rockets and a couple of bombs, back-to-back homers by Davis and Trumbo. So here's J.J. Hardy. He is lined hard to Jimmy Rollins at short and singles sharply into right field.
Jake Petrichka continues to throw, and he's ready to go. But as long as John keeps getting these guys out, Jake will stay in the pen.
Well, it should be 0-1. It's 1-0. Another strike was not called. figures. It's off the wall. He's going to give it a go. Here's the throw. Safe.
Well, very good throw by Melky, who did a nice job of playing the ball off the wall and throwing it all the way to second base, where Brett Lawrie was there. I think Hardy was surprised that there was actually a play on this, because he thought about it going out of the park. He looks at it, doesn't run right out of the box, and almost gets cut down at second.
Well, count right there got him. He should have been up top of the count, and Corey Blader missed 2 pitches in that short sequence. So Danks will depart, and we'll be back.
And that it is Jake Petrichkin. Jake comes in and he's been brilliant, as have most of his fellow Pensmen. On for the 8th time. The ERA 1.35. 6 2/3. A few more walks than he would like, but nobody hitting him real well, especially the right-handers, hitting a paltry .211 against him, and he is a sinker baller. He's got the bottom part of the order to deal with as Johnny Danks departs after 5+.
Here's Nolan Reimold. 5-2. Orioles on top. First of a 4-game set. Reimold has struck out and singled into left field. One thing about Johnny Danks, my questions at times his stuff or his control. One thing you could never question is his competitive spirit.
Well, talking with Buck Showalter before the game about Johnny Danks, he was with Texas when they drafted him #1, and he said he just absolutely loved both John and his family both. He said this is a guy with a great heart, and he said quite obviously now after the arm surgery the stuff isn't what it was. He said, but as a young man, he said he was absolutely exactly the pitching disposition that you would have wanted in a man that you're going to run out there every 5 days, and he is the longest tenured of all the White Sox players.
That's going to get the ball jumped up on him. So he will score. And that's a 6-2 lead.
Going to be E4. good at bat because Reimold did the right thing, but that one just took a bad hop. That was not in front of it, kind of played it off to the side so it doesn't hit your body, it just bounds away. But when you get bad hops, tough to predict, and the run scores.
There's Scope, a pop up to Abreu and a strikeout. Fair ball.
One of the things that a visiting player has to do before he gets ready to play a game when he goes into a new ballpark is figure out which way the ball is going to roll on the base paths. This ball looked like it was going to spin foul. It didn't. It hugged the line. A piece of the ball was on the line, and so comes a fair ball. Just fair.
So here's Caleb Joseph, a walk. Then he hit a hot shot down to third that Frazier backhanded and threw him out. Just joining us, I mentioned earlier about the arrival times last night of both clubs. Our club got in from Toronto around 2 o'clock in the morning, and Orioles got even later, coming in from St. Petersburg. 2 night games and getaway days, and that's going to go foul. So no disadvantage to either team.
Now, it usually doesn't affect you that first night back. When it will affect you is generally the second night. Right now it hasn't affected the Orioles all that much. Nice bunt attempt by Joseph, but it trickles foul.
Sanchez with a stop.
That ball looked like it might have skidded on the plate, but he stayed right down with it. Made sure it didn't get away and kept the double play in order.
Two on, nobody out, 1 in. 6-2 Orioles in game 1 of this 4-game series. Into right field. So 1 out.
Adams made a couple of good throws tonight. I talked to him before the game about his throwing arm that was surgically repaired just after the season ended last year. He said he came to spring training, his arm didn't have quite the strength that he needed it to have early in the spring, so They kept him out of the outfield for a while, let him get his swings in. Now he says his arm has felt better than it's felt as long as he can remember. And he's just making great throws.
Boy, he is really making some good throws.
Great throws and great routes.
Well, that one on that double play was just beautiful. That's a time capsule shot right there. Put that head down and run right to the ball, look up, and poof, there it is. Close pitch, another one we didn't get. Two and 0. With runners advancing on the wild pitch.
Sanchez tried to backhand that one. That's not the recommended way to try to stop low pitches. But he could smother it. He couldn't. And both runners advanced 90 feet.
Infield in. And here comes Coop.
Sometimes what happens out there is pitching coach will go out there and spend a little time. In fact, a little more time than he normally would spend, hoping to get the man come out from behind the plate, the umpire, in this case Corey Blazer, and then express your displeasure at some of the low pitches that have not been called.
Well, Corey has not had a brilliant game behind the plate tonight.
No, Dan Jennings loosening up. And Don just turned around, trotted back to the dugout as Corey Blazer turns around and heads back behind the plate.
So here's a man swinging hot bat, Machado. Grand slam.
It's 5 runs batted in for Manny Machado. RBI double in the 3rd. And this rocket in the 6th. A 4th home run replay, and Jake Petrichka got this one up. And Manny Machado hit this one out.
So it's 10-2. And here's Davis. Hard single, long, high towering 2-run homer. And he popped up to center field. That's Machado's 2nd career grand slam. Boy, he got a cookie right there and didn't miss it. We'll see that pitch again after this one.
He got under this ball. It looked like it's supposed to be a slider.
It was a roll.
It stayed up, and Machado swinging too good a bat right now to make that kind of mistake.
That was a cement mixer.
He is some kind of player. A wizard with the glove, and we've seen way too much of his bat tonight.
23 years old, 35 homers last year. He's probably going to run right on by that this year in this ballpark.
He got 16 driven in.
Well, the big thing too with him is who he's got hitting behind him. This Davis. It's always nice to have a man who hit 47 home runs last year hitting behind you.
Yeah, this is a big threesome. Machado, Davis, and Trumbo. It's like that Toronto threesome of Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion.
Way to Adam Jones' ribs get well. Jones with 27 homers last year. Trumbo went for 3 with a long home run. Look at this shank. Just foul.
Manny Machado tonight playing consecutive game number 183. That's the longest active streak in the major leagues. Evan Longoria right behind him. 124 coming into tonight. Last year Manny was the only player in the major leagues to play all 162. And John 5+, 6 runs, 9 hits, a couple of walks and 4 strikeouts.
All right, grand slam home run, and they lead it 10-2.
Streaming sports service delivers every game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. So Dylan Bundy comes in the game. On for the 7th time, his ERA .257.
Top of the order, Eaton, Rollins, and Abreu. Adams popped to left, grounded to second, and he was hit by a pitch.
Bundy was a former first-round draft pick. He was the 4th player chosen overall in the 2011 draft. He got injured fairly early in his career. Lost a great deal of time. Trying to come back from it. It's been really, for him, an injury-plagued career to this point. He came in with such great promise. 2012 at Frederick, 6-3. 12 starts. Nobody could hit him. Averaged a strikeout an inning. But these days, it's not the case.
Machado looking to barehand it. Can't get it. That'll be a base hit.
A good effort by Machado, but not with the speed of Eaton. He's able to beat the play at first, so he's been aboard twice. That's his first hit.
There's not a third baseman in the league that's going to make that play.
No, you can't. Not with the speed of Adam Eaton, certainly.
So here's Jimmy. He's 1 for 3. Good pass at it, fouls it straight back.
Michael Gibbons did a pretty nice job of getting out of some trouble. Sox put a whole lot of pressure on him. Took over for Wilson through an inning and a third. Didn't give up any runs. Did give up a couple of hits.
Two, and they can't get it at first. So Adam is raced. 1 out. That'll be 5-6. And here's Abreu. He's 1 for 2. A run scored and a walk.
That one got a piece of Corey Blazer. Got him right in the chest protector. So Caleb Joseph will come out. Give Blazer a chance to regain some semblance of his faculties. And as you see, this one gets him, looks like the mask and the top of the chest protector, right shoulder area.
Little shank into right field coming on. He can't make the play. So Rickard gave it a shot. That'll be a base hit.
Didn't get a whole lot of it. An inside out swing and dumps it into right field. Rickard comes on, tries to trap it. He realized pretty early in that dive that he had absolutely no chance to make the catch. Hits it back in without any advancement.
So here's Frazier. 1 for 3. That 2-run homer in the first inning got us off to a quick start. Couldn't do anything with it. To the count. Just underneath it. High in short center field. So that'll bring up Melky. Melky 0 for 3. If you're just tuning in, we scored 2 in the first. On that 2-run homer, they scored 1 in the first, 4 in the third, and 5 in the sixth.
Good off speed pitch by Bundy, and he had Melky well out in front of him.
That ball hit well in the center field, but they got a man there. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch, not good.
Comes into the ball game. He's on for the 5th time. His ERA 142. And we've got a brand new inner defense. Tyler Saladino comes in to play shortstop. Carlos Sanchez, who was just recalled at third base, and Jerry Sands checks in at first. Carlos Sanchez was hitting the ball very well at AAA. And with David Robertson on the bereavement list for at a minimum of 3 days, Carlos had a chance to come up.
And certainly our condolences go out to the family of David Robertson. His father-in-law passed. Adam Jones fires that one foul. RBI double in the first for Adam. Lined out hard. His counterpart Austin Jackson.
Tough night for Jake Petrichka. Went an inning, gave up 4 runs, 3 of them earned on a couple of hits with a walk and a strikeout.
There's just a nice piece of hitting right there. Leadoff man aboard, and that'll bring in J.J. Hardy, who's 2 for 3.
Second hit by Jones as he inside outs this one. Takes it by Laurie at second base.
JJ's been to the plate 3 times and hit it hard all 3 times. Takes first pitch strike. Pitching matchups for the rest of the series. Tomorrow night, Carlos Rodon against Mike Wright. Right-hander is 1-2 for the Birds. Saturday, Matt Latos against Kevin Gausman. That ball hit well in center field, but Austin is there. 1 out. And then in the finale on Sunday, Chris Sale goes against Ubaldo Jimenez. Gets 5-0 with a 1.66 ERA. Here's Nolan Reimold. He's 1 for 3 and has scored a run. You know, we've seen a few of those tonight. There's a strike. Checking some other scores for you. We mentioned earlier the Tigers beat Oakland 7-3 at Comerica Park. Sanchez over Bassett. Bottom of the 7th at Fenway, Atlanta 4-17 on the season, leading Carmine's 5-2. And there's the base hit.
Both base hits almost identical. Inside out swings taken to the right side and on into right field.
Also, our congratulations go out the other night. A.J. Pierzynski, 2,000 hits.
A lot of hits.
Yes, indeed it is. They're just getting underway in Arizona as the D-backs hosting the Cardinals. Cubs beat Milwaukee 7-2. Jake Arrieta 5-0 with 1.00. Can't get him first. 2 down. Phillies shut out Washington 3-0. Pittsburgh at Denver's postponed. Heavy snow.
Pretty amazing weather.
That radar
for
you
this
showed
time of
me
year.
was-
Yeah, that didn't look good.
Ugly. So here's Caleb Joseph will walk. A hard smash down to Todd Frazier, who got him, and he went out to right field. Breaking ball, curveball, strike. $14,568 on a very chilly and damp night in Baltimore. That one right off the foot of Caleb Joseph. Never feels great, but on a cold night it feels worse. Ball hit hard, but Austin is there, makes the play, and that'll retire the side. That's a hang whooping for Joseph, and we'll go to the 8th, trailing big.
going to his mouth that it was okay. A very chilly night, so both pitchers afforded the ability to blow on their hands or lick their fingers just to get a better grip on the baseball.
Let's give him a finish. Even if it comes up short, let's give him a finish. Get ready for tomorrow. Here's Laurie. Takes first pitch strike. Brett 1 for 3. That hard double back in the 4th inning. Two and one. Yanks that one down past Joe McEwing. Watch out. And that Tiger victory 7-3 over Oakland. Sanchez, Anna Bal, the winner, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 7 walks, and had 9 strikeouts. That's a lot of pitches.
Well, he's won 3 games and his ERA is up over 6. So Tigers have been certainly supporting him.
They've got some support.
They got that. A couple guys in the middle.
JD Martinez, Cabrera, Victor. Yeah. As that's out number 1.
Javi with a walk and a base hit tonight. He started to turn things around in Toronto, and hopefully this is the start of some consistent hitting from him.
Want to know the count.
But he's got a pretty good changeup. When you're drafted number 1, though, 4th player picked in the country, you know he had a very big fastball before all the injuries.
Yeah, when you go 4th as a youngster, that's foul. You got something.
Yeah, we were told at the time that he had one of the better arms around. Throwing a fastball in the high 90s. Now, because of the injuries, he still has pretty good curveball, and I'm sure that he has tried to refine and has a pretty good job of it with the changeup.
You very seldom ever see the number 1 pitcher, a young pitcher, come in with a good change.
No, they all throw the daylights out of it.
That's it. They just blow everybody away. They just overpower everybody, and then they find out they can't do that once they get into pro ball.
Well, a good inside-out swing, the 2nd hit of the night for Avi. So things are certainly looking better for him.
Johnny Damon had a golf outing I played in last month, and No, actually, it's about a month and a half ago. There's a young man there who's going to be a drafted pitcher in the first round. Yes, that is out number 2. So after the round was over, we're sitting there having a sandwich, and his dad, and he came over and sat down, and we started talking about baseball. I've never seen him throw. He's a big kid. He's about 6'6". And he throws. He's 17 years old, and he throws in the mid-90s.
At 6'6", probably still got some filling out to do. You would think the arm would be really good.
So his dad asked me, he said, "You've been around a long time. Is there anything you could suggest?" I said, "First of all, I've never seen him throw." I said, "But if he's," that's when he told me, he said he throws in the mid-90s. He's got a pretty good curveball. I said, "Forget the curveball." I said, "Does he have a changeup?" And he says, "No, but we're working on one." And I said, "Well, that's what you're working on right there. Not the curveball, the change."
If you've got a big fastball and you can back it up with a changeup you can throw for strikes, you're going to win a lot of games.
Well, I told him, I said the same thing you and I've talked about so often. I told him, I said, the worst 5 words you can tell a hitter. You can tell me he's got a great fastball. I don't care, because I can probably hit that if I'm, a major league hitter. You can tell me he's got a great curveball, and that doesn't bother me, because if he gets it over, I can't do anything with it anyway. You can tell me he's got a great slider. If he gets that over, I can't do anything with that. But if you tell me he's got a great changeup, now my wheels start turning. That puts you right in between a little bit.
Well, with Toronto, Marco Estrada does not throw particularly hard yet. He only gave up 3 hits in 6 2/3 innings because of that changeup.
That's high in the right center field. And that'll retire the side. We have completed 7.5, and we trail it by 8.
Pitcher coming in, and he's very familiar to you who have watched over the previous seasons. It's Daniel Webb. Came back from the minor leagues. Always had a good arm. Last year 1-0, but his ERA was up there, and control really was the problem. When your strikeouts and your walks are the same, you're probably going to have some difficulties. So Daniel, when he does get it over, it's pretty tough to hit.
Well, I was reading a little short story about him. He said that he's come to the mindset now that he's just going to throw strikes, and if they hit it, they hit it. It is what it is.
is really all you can do. Get the ball over the plate. You've got 7 guys behind you, one of those guys in front of you, and you're hoping that at least one of them is going to be able to knock it down.
Well, you can't be a major league pitcher who produces if you are his. Look at the play right there. You know he trapped it. He said, good effort though by Adam. But you can't be a productive major league pitcher unless you throw strikes and you're not afraid of contact. Good call.
When Sam Holbrook went out, he did see that he trapped it. Out goes is the second hit of the night for Rickard. He scored 2. He's had a pretty good night. Just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Nick Petrichka on the mound. He gets a slider up, and Manny Machado hits it out. The second grand slam of his career. He's driven in 5 tonight on a double and a grand slam. And that one effectively put it out of reach as the Orioles lead by 8. Daniel Webb had no walks in 10 2/3 in Charlotte. So that's a step in the right direction. As is that sweeping slider.
Well, you said it, Steve. Danny's just got to get a new mindset, and hopefully that will be his mindset.
If you can get ahead of the hitter, then you can throw it out there, and you find a lot of hitters can't lay off. So Davis is done for the night. Hyun-Soo Kim comes on as the kid who was hitting .500.
Well, the DH certainly has not done anything to enhance the hitting acumen, so to speak, of pitchers. Understanding hitting.
But when you have to hit, and you get a really good idea of how difficult it is to hit.
Exactly.
I mean, then you realize, look, if you're getting it over with something on it, whether it's in, out, up, or down, you're changing speeds, you're throwing strikes, and you're trusting your defense, you can be successful. You don't have to have overwhelming stuff.
Just think back now. You've been in this game as I have for a long time, all our lives, really. So just think back now of when pitchers had to hit. And if you think back and you call up some good hitting pitchers, they will all, if you talk to them about it, they will all tell you, I finally realized that sometimes, more often than not, less is better.
Well, certainly that's the case. I mean,
yeah.
I was told that by a guy who pitched and won 100 games in the minor leagues, and told me that
it's lined into left field hard.
Told me the next time you think about putting a little something on, he said, do just the opposite. Take a little something off. He said it's much more difficult to hit, because if you try to reach back and get a little extra, you're going to get 2 miles an hour, maybe 3, and it's going to straighten out. But if you take 2, 3, 4 miles an hour off, you're going to get the hitter moving his hands forward. He's not going to be able to get anything in the swing, and you're going to be much more deceptive.
That's right. They learned that less, when they were hitting less, more often than not, is better. You can talk to them, but if they don't know anything about hitting, they don't. They can't accept it. So here's Trumbo. Boy, he hit a bomb out of here. Wow, watch out. Back in the 3rd inning. He's just a big, big, strong right-handed. Coop and I have been buddies a long time, since he's been with the White Sox, way back when he first came up. And then that's, to me, one of his biggest assets as a pitching coach, because I go down there, you know, in spring training and listen to him talk to his pitchers. And that's one thing he stresses. Less is best, because you get the movement. Less is best. And if you got a guy who's throwing 98 and above, that's a little bit different story. But I'm talking about your average major league left arm.
And really, all velocity will allow you to do is get away with more mistakes, because there's been a lot of guys that could heat it up in the high 90s, but they were dead straight, and they weren't all that tough to hit for the real
Those
good
guys
hitters.
were meat.
Yeah, you didn't intimidate anybody, and you didn't have anybody out on the front foot.
You talk to major league hitters, and they'll tell you they'd much rather hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball with straight than a 92-mile-an-hour fastball with good movement. And some of them will even go lower than that. An 88 or 89-mile-an-hour fastball with good movement.
Look at Mark Burley and how successful he was over the course of his career. And 83, 84, he would throw by people.
And here comes Coop.
He's going to talk to Daniel about getting back to what he knows he has to do. Let's go right at the hitter. The guy hits the ball out of the ballpark. Ball club's down 10-2 anyway. So if he hits it out of the park, it's 14-2. But you can't walk people and stay in the major leagues. And Don will try to leave him with something positive as he walks out.
So here's Pedro Alvarez.
Pedro came from a #1 draft pick with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And a guy with some big power, but always a problem defensively. And in the National League, if you have a problem defensively, you have to play somewhere if you're going to get some at bats. So they tried him at third, they tried him at first. It didn't work out all that well, but he does have big power. As you see, the Orioles have loaded the bases once again. Something they've done a lot of tonight.
Sox packed with birds. 1 out. Oh yeah. 1 and 2.
It's probably the best pitch of the night as he throws a changeup and has Alvarez way out in front.
Yes, he did. He gone. 2 down.
He went right after Alvarez. Didn't have to throw it in the zone as he had him swinging at a number of pitches that were out of the zone. Nice stop by Hector Sanchez.
Pedro came into the big leagues with a ton of publicity.
Yeah, he could hit him into the river in Pittsburgh, that beautiful stadium.
Here's JJ. He swung the bat well tonight. He's 2 for 4. Hit the ball very hard 3 times.
And played as he normally plays, a very solid shortstop. Nothing fancy, he just makes all the plays.
Everybody in that infield does.
It's been spectacular this year. Four grand slams for J.J. Hardy and a .267 batting average with the bases loaded.
And he's got the catbird seat. 2-0. That had a large part of the plate. Normally he is a good grip hitter. 2-0-3-1. Now he's got that catbird seat again. 3-1. And a full count. Nice pitch right there on a 3-1 count.
Yeah, that one sitting there on the outside corner. Pretty good pitch.
Very seldom do you see J.J. Hardy have a real bat at bat.
He's just been a good player for a long time.
Hit him up right there. Fights it off. And once again the payoff. He gone. Beautiful pitch right there. Hardy didn't like it, but it was there. Meanwhile, 9th inning, 10-2.
And a whole lot of defensive changes for Buck Showalter. So it's T.J. McFarland who's on for the 7th time. His ERA pretty respectable, 3.18. He's had a chance to save a couple of games. He has not been successful in that role. But pretty good left-hander in the middle who can normally get the ball over the plate. Their closer is Zach Britton, who saved 36 last year. And so in right field, Reimold shifts over. Rickard shifts to center. Kim stays in the game in left.
So here we go. Top of the order. First pitch strike to Adam. Adam 1 for 3 tonight.
Got Machado at shortstop and Alvarez at third. There's a look at Pedro Alvarez. Manny Machado, who started out as a shortstop, getting an inning of work at shortstop.
And there's a base hit. So Adam 2 for 4. Let's put a couple of points on the board here for tomorrow. For the psyche. Trumbo.
Trumbo, big addition to this team. A team that, for the most part, didn't need a whole lot of power, but got it with Mark Trumbo to add to the rest of those guys in the middle.
Well, they just keep backing one another up. They just offer a lot of protection. All of them.
Well, they're going to probably do it again, but they've had 4 consecutive seasons of 200 or more home runs.
Well, we talked about this ballpark earlier.
You can't have a team in this park that you assemble that doesn't hit the ball out of the park, because it then becomes a disadvantage for you.
There's a fly ball in the right field. So 1 out. The only way that you can have a club in this park to win, if you got great pitching, not good pitching, great pitching, great defense, and you got a ton of speed. That's the only way. Now, how many teams have great pitching, great defense, and a ton of speed?
Yeah, they don't have that, but usually, I mean, we saw it a lot of times. You saw it with Kansas City. You saw it with St. Louis when it was an artificial surface. You tailor your team for your ballpark. This is a home run hitter's park. And so you just can't allow teams coming in to have more home run hitters than you have. And they haven't. They don't.
Well, this is, Throw is off the mark by Machado, so Sands is safe at first. Carlos Sanchez will hit. Todd Frazier was 1 for 4, a 2-run homer in the first inning. If you're just tuning in, Todd got us off to a quick start.
When all was beautiful and the game was young. But then the Orioles took their first few turns at swinging the bat.
Well, when you're hitting 2-0-3-1 most of the time, you're going to get some hits.
Well, Johnny threw 21 pitches tonight behind in the count.
Well, that's going to add up to a lot of runs.
And that's exactly what happens. And talking with Mike Scioscia before the game, he was telling me that that's one of the areas that he looks at. And one of the areas he's provided is knowing how many pitches his pitcher made the start before behind in the count. And you can pretty much figure out the ERA by how many pitches you have to do that.
All the managers that I not all, but most of the managers that I played for, they always looked at that.
Yeah.
How can he pitch from behind?
Well, you can't.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the rare guy that can.
They all looked at that. Not so much that they went number of pitches, like 30 pitches from behind or 21 from behind. They just wanted to know, can he pitch from behind in the count? Scioscia doesn't miss many tricks.
No, he's a good one, and now we're getting, and this is not a sophisticated number, but we are getting many more numbers to help managers out.
Well, to me, that's one of the biggest right there.
Yeah, it's critical importance.
Behind?
Well, is he forcing himself to throw from behind? And that's pretty tough to do.
2-1 pitch. And this ball game is over. So Sox jump out very quickly, Steve, and Johnny just didn't have as good stuff or as good control tonight.
Now, one of those nights, and the 6-game winning streak goes by the boards. The Orioles take the first of a 4-game series, and we'll see if we can come back at them tomorrow night.
All right, so for my partner Steve